and good evening to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is Raph streaming to you live, high above the keep in the hot air balloon. Tonight, as always, I have Neindorf with me. Neindorf, how you doing?
I'm excited to get back in the saddle here.
Yeah, for sure. It's been far too long since we've hung out, but you know what? It seems like good things happen in the game when we take a break. So maybe we should take a break more indefinitely. I don't know.
Uh,
How about that news, though? I mean, are you psyched or you psyched?
yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. This is good stuff. We've seen a lot of movement lately, and we all knew it was coming, but I think now it really feels like we're the roller coaster's getting to we're start to tip, right?
All right, it's yeah, we're at that tipping point for sure. Okay, you and I, we were battling some awful computer issues on my end. My computer was protesting, needed a hard reset. Haven't done that in a while because I have a bot running. Um, and so we got a lot to talk about today, including our sidekick development, site developments. Do you have a question of the day? We haven't gone over this yet. I do not.
Um, so I've not had a chance to think about it, but this is kind of off the cuff here, but I'm curious if anybody, or what do you think other PvP background scenes could be? I love the pirate ship. Did you see that one?
Yeah, let me go ahead and try to bring that up on screen here.
Oh, like that's getting people excited and myself included. I think that's the really cool thing. Pick your map, pick your heroes, pick maybe there's some like extra status effects you could put on if you're choosing to
Yeah.
host a tournament or, you know, just even a challenge, right? To challenge somebody. So I don't know, this gets me really fired up and it almost brings me back to like Fight Club days where you're like, all right, we're gearing up. Here's what it looks like.
I love it. Yeah, it really gets you going. I would say I'm looking forward to. I want like the lava scene where you're maybe in like a secret subsection of the pit. You got some lava going on, and it's just like you're getting the mental images of the loser gets kicked into the pit, and they're done. Or maybe it's not lava, maybe it's the blood pool
Oh,
of the Dark
it's definitely
Summoner.
lava. It's Mustafar, and you're gonna be careful you don't run into Anakin Skywalker there.
Right, right. It just there's so many epic battles that happen. Um, when you're in a cave or in a pit or in a dungeon. So I'm really going for that kind of those red and black hues. Really kind of get those ominous vibes going. That's the kind of scene I'm looking for.
Well, hey, it wasn't all that long ago. We had quite a few Adventures Arcade maps that you'd put together and some images, and I still remember the Halloween dungeon ones. Like
Oh
that one was pretty cool.
yeah, got to go for the kind of the epic ones. It really kind of brings you teleports you into the world, if only for a moment. All right,
Absolutely.
let's start talking site development. What have you been working on since we've been away?
Just out of curiosity, do you remember where we were at last time we potted? I'm trying to figure out where I need to begin. I feel
Yeah,
like we've
I
been adding stuff over time here in the last month and a half, and I think we've had a pretty good clip of development.
yeah, I think it's important to go through what we did on the equipment page.
Ah, yes.
Again, if this might be a refresher for some, I think we covered this lightly the last time, but okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is for subscribers. So from the homepage, clicking on equipment data, and then I have tabs of armor, weapons, and accessories. I'm gonna show the items by my address, and once we hit this query, that will show all the items that I have, or the armor, the weapons, the accessories. All right, so here I did it on weapons. I have my gore blades, my gore staff, gore bows, demon's drumstick, one gore axe, and I am absent of a. I really want to go buy an Excalibur, but just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Um,
Yeah, so that's I remember the other thing about this page that I need to get back to now that I think of it. is I'm going to merge the pets page in with the equipment page. Essentially, it's kind of the same thing, right? You're searching your wallet for your set of items, um, and it's just kind of one of those things that uh, I also can't forget either that there's pet alerts out there, kind of similar to the tavern alerts for heroes. And that's another thing that, forward looking here, we want to go back around and possibly set up some alerts for equipment as well so that our subscribers can, get notified if, say that 10% Gorbo drops on the market.
Right. And let's not forget when you deep dive into an item, we also have the beautiful charts again, and so you can see the box and whisker charts that give you a good representation of. So this is a pretty lousy axe on the market. I just bought at the floor, but you can see what your variable stats are and how many axes it's being compared to. And so the high here of critical gain lifesteal is 40. Are you kidding me? That's the high. And in the average, the mean is here at about 22. So that is wild. And then likewise, you have B2, increased chance of critical hit. Highest is 10%. So that doesn't fluctuate nearly as much, or at least that we've seen so far. And then the decrease of physical and magic defense is in B3. Um, so this is, I mean, it again tells you a lot. And also, if you want to look at any item, just like your hero IDs, you have to add in the ones and the zeros for Crystal Veil. But you can punch in any hero ID here. And so if you want to go look at an Excalibur, if you want to go look at a Scally's Eye or something a little more rare, go ahead and click on that, and you can check it out.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, at the very least, what I like to do too is say you are shopping something on the tavern and you see that what's the cheapest one and you're like, well, I'm not sure if that's is this a good deal or a bad deal. And I think the comps really help you kind of decide, are you getting the bottom of the barrel at the floor or is it just slightly above floor and it makes it a fairly solid deal. So definitely use that to help, weigh the decision of if something's got some extra value there.
Yeah, and if I ever need a pick me up, I just go look at my Scally's Eye and I look at that 20% on the increased magical accuracy.
So I only have, yeah, that's great. So all right, you got to help me. Is this equipment armor worthwhile? I'll paste it in here. I want to see what you think. It's the only armor I've ever found. I don't do a ton of bot hunts, so I kind of want to get your read on it.
Yeah, let me check it out. All right, so we're looking at a feather duster.
So first of all, light armor, right? And given magical defense, it seems like early PvP light armor seems kind of weak just because on that alone, right?
It's weird. Why did this not open up in dark mode?
Oh, you got the bright light, huh?
I don't know why it didn't open up in dark mode.
That's kind of funny.
All right, so here in dark mode, we're not friends over here in this joint.
Oh, you're not logged in on this. Oh, because it probably took you to the different URL.
Yeah.
If you change the
Oh,
URL at the top,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So
it treats
now,
you as a separate session.
yeah. So now I'm looking at your item right here. All right. So you got the feather duster, which some people go for the evasion on it. 5.8, not awful.
So not the
Um,
floor.
not the floor, but I don't see many that are above 6. So I would say 5.8 is probably pretty good. Um, man, magic defense. That's pretty darn good. Physical defense, B3.
Yeah,
Increased
so
chill resistance.
I feel like this is like a long-term kind of item here in the sense that, that magical defense is just huge.
Yeah.
And then the physical defense is solid. So I'm curious if, so how your hero's endurance kind of feeds into their physical defense,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how this multiplies by what they get defended by. I'm feeling like an endurance tank somehow with this light armor where that endurance actually gives you, maybe you could get medium armor style defense out of this.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my head's going.
Yeah. Well, let's look up. I have one medium armor. So let's see what that. So we're comparing 135 and 210. And it does need to be equipped on your hero. So let's look at the wishbone breastplate. All right. Yeah, 135 compared to 155, and then what did I say for the magic defense?
Magic is 210.
210. So yeah, it's better than magic defense on the medium armor.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Because I think you sacrifice, so medium armor is kind of a bridge between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Light armor, I think if I remember correctly, is tilted towards magic defense. So, I kind of, I'm wondering if that sweet spot, how this piece has got the maxed out magic defense and high physical defense. If those X's would have swapped and you had max physical and high magic,
Hmm.
I think I'd be looking at a really awesome piece here. But, again, it's just kind of, this is the sort of stuff that, as we were talking about, potential equipment alerts, or if you're shopping, that I think we need to consider because the stats of a hero that you throw this on actually does make an impact.
Very big difference, absolutely. All right. Well,
So yeah,
that kind of covers starting to get into some of our PvP prep as well, but we'll come back to that. Anything else on the site development side of things that you want to kind of
sure. I think
highlight? Yeah.
primarily the hero matching updates, right?
Right.
We pushed out a fairly it's small in the size in terms of what you see on the site, but I think the feature is huge. So essentially, if you guys hadn't heard or seen, we've added the ability to kind of recursively search for matches within a wallet or within all of your registered wallets. And so essentially, a lot of the hero matching criteria, you can think of some of the criteria are filters, right? I'm filtering my universe of heroes down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones are essentially matching criteria. And so if you apply that logic kind of to your own wallet, you say, I want only, rare and above heroes, and I want the main class must mutate. So if you start to think about that, you can find some really interesting combinations just within your own wallet. And, I was thinking back in time too, why didn't we have this from the get-go? Well, I remember a time when 20 heroes in your wallet was a huge number of heroes. And so you knew them all by name, you knew their stats and their genes. So
Right.
uh, now as the armies grow, I feel like I forget what I have. And I think this is another way to kind of chase up some of that random mustard that those Mythic Squad guys like to talk about.
Yeah. So I started running it wide open and it was spinning for a while. So resetting
Yep.
this, I'm gonna run it based on looking on rare and above, legendary and above, of course. I don't play around with rares. Who does? And so it's spinning. So I have a bunch of heroes across all my wallets, so it's probably taking some time here. All right, so here we go. Love
Yeah, and so
this.
so you basically just selected basically any match for legendary, right? Or
Yep.
did you put in ability pairs?
Oh, let me do ability pairs. Yeah, I'm definitely messing this up. All right.
That's no worries. It's something that it
All
isn't
right.
intuitive at first until you run it a few times, I'll be honest.
All right. So minimum abilities that can mutate. Let's go ahead and click 3.
Oh, you want to go for some mustard for sure.
And then let's see if I have any that fit into that bucket. Because then I'm leaving it open to basic, advanced, elite, any kind of mutations.
Right. Yep. And any class too, in the sense that
Any class.
sometimes your mutation, you don't really care as much about the class if you're trying to get those gene promotion.
Right. Okay. Look at this. Here we go. That is epic. I mean, this
And
is this is incredible.
so I do believe also Delay, like I told her, she keeps me honest. She's like, could we have this ability and have a button? If you scroll to where the class and subclass are, you can see the main class must mutate field. That is new for this feature, and it only applies for matching your own wallets, not like the field, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But she keeps me honest, showing me that, hey, can you put hair in some of the visuals and have some of those matching features? So stay tuned. I will add the visuals. I routinely forget, but I appreciate being kept honest.
Yeah. We don't forget about the visual friends out there.
Oh, you had a lot of mustard on that page, by the way.
Yeah. I'll have
Are
to.
those all ones that you were aware of, or did you find any that you're like, oh, what's this?
Oh, I am not aware of any of these.
Oh,
So this is
oh, serious?
fantastic. Yeah, I haven't been summoning for total mustard. I've been, only summoning for like specific things. And honestly,
Yes.
I haven't been summoning pretty much at all lately. I'm just working on leveling the guys up and going.
So that's, I'm just trying to see. Yeah, there's no four bangers in there, but hell, they're all like, wow, that's a lot of different.
Yeah.
And then, so looking at your classes, I see you got Thief Pirate. That's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
And some of your summons, uh, I see summons left of 11. I should probably fix that. That essentially should be changed to the infinity sign, but I'll
Oh.
get there eventually.
11 makes sense, conceptual sense too.
Right. Yeah. If you're unaware, the API and the blockchain, that's 11 essentially means unlimited in their convention system.
All right. Well, let's go. That's freaking awesome, man. All right, so we are running a sidekick promotion, and this is for the bot that we are launching. Um, we built this system to run on Windows, on Raspberry Pi, um, and we feel like we still have a very competitively priced product here. We are going to extend, at least for the end of the year, our introductory rate of $9.99 a month for Sidekick. And so we are running a super promotion right now, which is starting today, starting right now. All new users that subscribe and get a bot running at the start of by the 20, did I say the 22nd? No, by the 15th. So
Yeah, we're gonna 2 weeks from today. Yep.
2 weeks. Um, so 2 weeks from today, if you have your bot configured and running, you will get and you're a new user, you'll get entered into a raffle drawing. And so there's no purchase necessary for those 2 weeks. Using the bot is totally free. So this is an entire entry trial period for you new users out there. And if we can get 3 new people to sign up, we are going to give a raffle to whoever is signing up. They get one entry. It's just one entry per you configured it and you turned it on. We're going to give away 6 months of site time, or excuse me, not site time, ADFK bot time. And if we can get 5 users signed up, then we are going to give away 12 months. That's an entire year of using the bot that we will be giving away free. And if there's only like 5 people that sign up, that's a 20% chance that you could have a lifetime supply of free botting. Well, a year supply of free botting.
Could be a lifetime.
It could be
Who
a
knows,
lifetime, yeah.
right?
And then if we get up to 7 new users, we will give away one drawing for 12 months and one drawing for 6 months. And so that is our promotional offer at the moment that we're running. And again, we are going to extend our $9.99 rate per month for at least the rest of the year. But I have a feeling that we might extend that longer just to stay competitive with, we're aware that expeditions are being released as well. And so this is an alternative product. You don't have to lock up Jewel for a long time or for 3 years in order to do this. And you can get a lot of heroes for that $9.99 rate. So
Yeah, and I would say too to get signed up for this, just ping me and I'll get you your free time and I'll add you to our entry. I'll keep that kind of tracked on the side because I know there's a way where you can get a few free days of trial time, but I forget exactly how that starts counting, and it's entirely possible somebody who's never actually signed up has had their free time count away. So just ping me. We'll get you some time. We'll get you set up. We'll help you through it, and we'll get you entered.
yeah, and if you need help setting up the auto leveling system, it can be a lot. And so we've built some scripting on the back end. We'll do this for all new users. It's not something that we can offer on a weekly or monthly basis. but I feel like once you get your auto leveling kind of kicked into gear and in shape, it makes it a lot easier to manage your wallet. And so you can see just how many heroes I have set up for auto leveling. And I did this with scripting and a few rules. So, we can't offer you unlimited number of rules, but there's a lot of rules that we can apply to create this automatic scripting. We will send you kind of an Excel sheet this is a confirmation of what your automatic leveling will look like, and then Neindorf will automatically load that into the back end of the code, and it will show up in the UI for you like this, so you don't have to add all your heroes one by one. A great way to, kind of just keep things fresh. We also recently implemented selling inventory for gas, and so right now I'm selling all of my gardening items for gas right now, and so that converts it to Joule, which is
Yeah, that's
a great.
a good point to note on those categories. Is essentially if you're confused at what's in a category, it's usually fairly obvious, but if you go to the market data page and you look at the DFK items and you sort by category, that's the actual full list. But essentially, yeah, gardening is everything that you could get gardening except for tiers and runes because those are in the or sorry, tiers and Shavas because those are in the runes category. So again, it's a little confusing, but if you just look at the market data page, that'll give you the categories for everything explicitly. Um, yeah, I'll throw a shout out to Just Crypto. He was using this and he wanted to go sell items for gas, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm gonna have to put in every item." We're like, "Ooh, yeah, maybe we could put some categories in there for you."
Yeah, so you can come over to the market data, the DFK items data,
So
check it
I
out
love
there.
this feature for one reason. I've got like 5 or 6 wallets that just have 18 miners in them. And so I have a rule for each of those wallets. It's basically just sell your gold, sell your tiers, and I don't ever have to really come back. They just go
Yeah.
forever.
So I see Sticks intern in the chat saying auto leveling is forbidden. I never auto level. It would only. I would bet money that it would take you under 15 minutes to get the bot running on your wallet. So I mean, if you're not setting up the auto level configuration, you can have your guys going and rolling for a long in a very short order for a long time. And I feel like we're still positioned in a way that I can see why a lot of people are going to want to use expeditions. It's built into the game, but I could see how a lot of people might want to keep that jewel liquid, not lock it up for that 3 years. I
So
Go ahead.
yeah, I just want to. So I was discussing expeditions a little bit with Skillet the other day, our partner in crime here, and keep in mind that even with expeditions, you still have to manually go in and claim your rewards every so often, or like, kind of issue those middle transactions that bring the reward items back. So keep in mind that even with expeditions, there's still some manual effort here. I grant you it's far less. But we were envisioning a system too, where even if you have heroes out for expedition, the bot could very easily do those middles, like say every 3 days, you could essentially claim all the quests. So you have a stream of items still coming into your wallet, kind of as if you're not even running expeditions. You're getting most of the value out of it too. So I think there's even a use case for a bot, even in an expedition world, personally.
Hmm. I like that, and it
And then the
keeps
other
gas down
item that
for
I'm
the ecosystem too.
right, yeah. The other item I started working on the other day, I think yesterday actually, uh, is someone had mentioned that they liked bots that start hunts for you so that you can just kind of go play and then complete them. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a great feature because I always forget who's on whose team and why. And so this way you can put it in the config and just don't have to remember, and they're always set up. So in the next week or so, I'm hoping to have auto hunt starting out as another sidekick feature as well. So, hey, if I get annoyed by something, I'll implement it. If you guys tell me you're annoyed by something, you never know.
So that's key to try to inception Neindorf to say like, hey, isn't it so annoying when you can't when you forget who's on whose
Oh my
team?
gosh, it is.
You're right. Um, all right, so cooldowns in Gen Zero. So since the last time we spoke, it's been that long on podcast form at least. We didn't have cooldowns. The vote hadn't even occurred yet, and here we are. The vote came out. Votes passed. It's going to be 14 days, and it's already started. Well, I should say the cooldown timer increase has already started. And for some of those math sleuths out there, I need to look it up in chat. I know Code Green, iOS Code, was doing some of that math. It's going to be a long time before we get there with the full 14-day cooldown. I think for the most part, the community feedback has been positively received for this. Um, well, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, originally I was thinking that that's too long. I'm kind of coming around, especially since it's like a year plus, I think, or something crazy long until you get to that 14 days. Um, and with PvP coming and expeditions, and I feel like essentially right now, summoning is the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as that becomes, yeah, I see he said 18 months out. So yeah, Code Green that is with the info,
Right.
always appreciated. Thank you. Um, but as I was saying, I feel like summoning has been the game. And as more of the actual game in terms of PvP or scrub fights come out, I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to spend less time summoning, and I think that means that a longer cooldown kind of lets me think about other things. It gives me more game time to play in a different aspect. So I'm actually okay with it. And then it was funny, this morning my so I have three Gen Zeros. So I put two together and I rent out the other one to I liked another pull of the lever, right? I feel like the RNG world said, all right, we know what's happening. This is going to start slowing down. So here's two legendary 10 out of 10s. I was like, sweet.
Love it.
So that was my lucky pull today. But overall, I think it's a great call for the ecosystem, and I think we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, so I was someone who, using the Sidekick bot, I'd been, my Gen Zeros were on a timer. And so I was summoning every 3 days. And I think I'm taking a little bit of a overreaction here. Not I think. This is a bit of an overreaction, but and I'll probably start summoning here eventually. But I've taken all my heroes off summoning. And right now, the goal in my mind is I want to get all my Gen Zeros to level 20 before I start summoning again. So I can really maximize the value of that, resource that just means a little more to me now. In the scheme of things, I'm probably just wasting an opportunity for return on investment on those Gen Zeros right now. But it's something that has kind of stopped, made me think about it. And I have one Gen Zero at level 20, and I'm starting to get really close with a couple of my other ones. And I didn't quite end up with the stats I wanted. And so my warrior here, he's a warrior DR1, and he pairs with a knight DR1, and they're supposed to make a paladin engine. And I bought him, gosh, I think he was like level 10 or 11, and I've been trying to train up his vitality, and look at where I got tied. So that means at level 20 that strength will be the primary that goes through. It goes by order. So I can't boost vitality as my number one thing. So I'm a bit sad by that, but I am starting the second loop, and so you get your bonus points for strength, your summoning percentage, or your level up percentages go up for strength, and then vitality. I do get one stat point in there, so that's that's what's happening in the Raph Gen Zero world.
Yeah, I like that. I like that strategy, thinking because you're kind of playing the level cap, right? And trying to extract as much value as you can out of your
Yeah.
10 zeros, but in a patient way. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that approach. I am not nearly that patient, turns out.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm actually holding out, going on almost, well, half a week now. So we'll see how long it lasts before I start wanting more Gen 1s. But yeah, once I start summoning again, I think I am going to use a tier boost and use the lesser stone, um, just because it is a more these Gen ones are a more valuable resource. Um, and then you do get value with the essence out of having that lesser stone, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Oh boy, I have not fully consumed and integrated any of that information yet.
Okay,
I feel like until it comes out and I go to do it, I'm gonna inevitably have to refer to the docs constantly.
I hoping someone in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought there was the Grady effect where when you transcend a hero that has a stone, that there is a chance at getting something back. Anyways, this shows how much we've been in the game lately.
Yeah, until I implement it or until I use it, I just won't know it. And so I'm not there quite yet.
Right. All right. Well, let's talk about PvP prep. I want to take it back to spin back the wheels of time, and I want to look back, a year and a half when we first started podcasting 2 years ago. One of the things we talked about is how many teams are you going to have for PvP? And it feels like PvP is right around the corner. And I think the kind of the sneaky thing is, I bet not many people have multiple teams at level 20. I don't. I have, well, you just saw that. I have two heroes at level 20. And my third guy is not even close. And so, I think that's going to sneak up on us pretty quick, Nine Dwarf. And to me, there's no reason why they are not going to run a tournament with the level 20 level cap. And kind of make it be so there's no penalty for having three level 20 heroes. I think that's because that'll just boost the ecosystem. Then people are going to want to get up 20. They're going to want to use stand pots. That brings value to the materials, value to the questing heroes. Tell me I'm wrong here.
No, I think you're right on. I think, potentially, I think you nailed it. Swift Thistle could be, you could see that price boost again, and Mokshas as well if people are going to be stampotting and power leveling, and or
And Shavasta,
I right
it'll
far
stay high.
forbid people from dark summoning other level 20s together as well and burning Mokshas and then say you don't get what you want. Well, let me grab another level 20. So I people will do those sorts of things when I think the prize pools are announced because I think it's going to be kind of juicy and hard for some people to avoid or not go chase, if you will.
Yeah. And that's just going to bring value to items as well. If there are, I mean, look at what the Mythic Squad guys did with Sticks Intern. I think there was a $2,000 prize pool that was up for grabs total in the tournament across all the items. We're kind of spouting off information tonight with a complete disregard for facts. Um,
Utter speculation.
Utter speculation. Feels like a presidential debate. Um, and so I feel like the item values are going to go through the roof too, because now all of a sudden I'm going to want to have top accessories, top gear on my guys if I'm going to go for that $1,000 prize pool or $2,000 prize pool or whatever it is. Okay, I got it right, $2,000 prize pool. Way to go! I mean, that is a community-driven event. Oh, and Sticks Intern's also saying not counting donated heroes and NFTs on the spin wheel, so that's incredible. I see, we are going to this I trust the degen of this community, and the moment that private matches releases, there will be tournaments instantaneously, and then there will be betting for one-on-one matches instantaneously. And someone is going to keep some kind of leaderboard, maybe us, maybe DFK Quester, I don't know, where you're actually tracking the win percentage on private matches as well. And so, like that information, like those bragging rights are going to go up instantaneously. And if you thought people were really going after the bragging rights of boar hunts and rock box, I think the bragging rights of having a high win percentage on PvP, I mean that's really what people will be trying to show off.
Yeah, far forbid people from creating new wallets so they can reset their loss count.
Right. But yeah, so as we're getting ready for PvP, kind of my caution to everyone is I think it's going to sneak up on you um, really quickly. And I, make sure you're ready. Like, if you're not stand potting your heroes right now, we have a bot that runs at a price of $9.99 a month. Um, and if you really wanted to use it and abuse it, get it for 2 weeks. Stand pot a bunch of your heroes. Um, Give it a try. See if you like it. And so, um, I think that my advice out there is don't get caught flat-footed because it's gonna sneak up on us. I'm gonna lose my bet with Sticks in turn that it's releasing sooner than we thought. I still think tournaments are a long ways away. Official team-led tournaments are a long ways away, but I think private match tournaments are going to come out almost instantaneously.
Yeah, I like your advice there. Don't get caught flat-footed. Inevitably, I will. I feel like I'm busy with developing the site. That's kind of my game I play is kind of site features for whatever reason. But I find that enjoyable, and it's kind of the weird part. Otherwise, I really need to get my strategy together. I don't do as many bot hunts as I should. I feel like that's like the training ground for what strategies can be effective against a difficult enemy, since we don't actually have matches against people yet. That brings me to a question I've been wanting to ask in an AMA. I feel like it'd be kind of a cool one. You should let another person run the box as a prep. So imagine I'm fighting
Oh,
you and your heroes, and I get the box and you get your heroes. I think that would be pretty cool.
that would be awesome. That'd be a lot of fun.
And that'd be a way for them to start getting like the turn counting and the timers of like my turn, your turn, and all that kind of stuff could get figured out with essentially, skipping the other nature of uh, having another set of heroes to contend with.
Yeah, so Sticks intern in chat saying he's giving out hints on tournaments and he's going to be on Bogside Chats later this week to give out more hints on tournaments. And, what I would ask to Sticks intern and ask to all of our, friends out there, what site developments do you want to see either for PvP preparation or for maybe some light organization at tournaments. If we're going to have 6 months of my speculation, 6 months of trying to manually run these tournaments ourselves, like we can build some tools that will be useful for the tournament organizers out there. Oh, Sticks intern saying he was not on this week. He was a few weeks ago. Yeah, this is literally how long I've been. I've had my head in the sand. I've like poked up my head to jump on Twitter here and there, and Discord here and there, and then make sure the bot's running, and that is it. So, um, wow, shows how far out of it I am. But yeah, if just a shout out for requests on if there are things that you want to analyze on like team comps, win percentages, things like that will help people with PvP preparation. Give us some ideas of what you're looking for, or if there's things that you're looking for to help facilitate private match tournament organization. We can do that too. We've thrown around some ideas internally about you could automatically look for matches between two individuals, and the first private match that satisfies those two individuals, those stats could be recorded and put into some kind of bracket format. Something that would make it a little easier to manage the tournament so you don't actually have to watch every single match like I know Sticks intern was doing on the Rockbach tournament.
Yeah, some commitment there. And I give him mad props for his efforts and that desire to see it succeed. So absolutely love it. I'm very appreciative.
Ooh, pick ban mechanism. Yeah, I think that would obviously have to be, well, I mean, maybe it doesn't have to necessarily be something that it would be best to be built in game. But I guess if we did something that was like on a web interface, you could like not count matches, private matches that included one of the heroes that was banned. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe there's something to
Yeah, that's possible.
play with there. Yeah, and like Sticks and Turn is saying, also makes more sense after all basic classes are out, because it's like, well, what are you banning? Seer, what are you banning? Berserker? Okay, we have 3 classes left. Yeah. All right. So, um, that's all I had for tonight. Anything else?
I'm trying to think if there was anything on our notes here. I think we covered it all pretty well. Yeah, we're trying to get back into a rhythm here. Hopefully we can keep that flowing after our hiatus.
Yeah. Just a reminder on the promotion. So configure and start running your bot sometime in the next 2 weeks. Any new users over the next 2 weeks, their site time will be free. And we are going to do a drawing in 2 weeks on the 15th, that Monday night at our time. And we are going to give away, if we can get 3 new users, we'll give away 6 months of time. If we can get 5 users, we'll give away 12 months of time. And 7 new users, we'll give away one drawing of 12 months and one drawing of 6 months. So just for no purchase necessary, a little effort on your part of configuring your bot, you could have a year of bot access for free. That's better than expeditions, if I say so myself. All right, any closing comments there, Neindorf?
No, just happy to be back into the podcast seat here. Looking forward to seeing these next developments. I kind of feel like there's going to be a sneaky good release here soon. I'm not really sure what's going to be in it, but I really kind of feel like we're on the precipice of another good release date here.
I hear you. All right, well, I'll talk to you later, and thank you for everyone for showing up